So recently there's this new Star Wars show called The Acolyte that came out recently, and for me, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I've been looking forward to seeing this. I didn't really know what it was about, so I went in completely blind. I didn't see any of the trailers, I didn't see any of like the advertisements, so I had no idea what the show was about. But nonetheless, I loved all the other Star Wars shows, so I thought might as well just make a video about it, talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. And surprisingly, a lot of people just didn't like the show, which I'll talk about later on in this video, just talking about kind of like the whole discourse behind everything. But if you are new to the channel, my name is Parren. I'm a filmmaker, I'm a content creator, and I just like to talk about movies, filmmaking, and making YouTube videos on this channel. So if that does interest you, make sure to hit that subscribe button to see more videos like this. Now, when it comes to The Acolyte, like I said before, I didn't know anything going into the show. So, it's always interesting when you don't know anything about a show and you walk in for the first time and you just kind of like, especially with Star Wars and like Marvel and stuff like that I know and that I'm big fans of. Like, I don't watch trailers or like promos anymore. So like everything I see nowadays with like the movies, with shows, I just, it's completely blind. I'm not like leading up to it. I don't get like super excited about much. But walking into it, it was pretty all right. The first two episodes, it was pretty good. Nothing too extreme, but it was interesting seeing this new side of Star Wars, where it's like hundreds and hundreds of years before the movies and stuff. So I really like that aspect and seeing like kind of like the newness of each show so far. Each Star Wars show has like had a different like time and place that it takes place in. And like the Mandalorian, for example, where it has like Baby Yoda, and then like Mandalorian, obviously, Ahsoka with like the Jedi, and like right before the Mandalorian, and then also Andor, which is completely different. A lot of people really like that. I do really like that too. And I thought this was going to be more like that. And I really like this different like, concept. Every single like show has like a different concept of like, what it's about, what the story is. I think in this one, it's more like the murder mystery aspect of it. It's kind of like a Knives Out mystery, even though you already know who the killer is. It's kind of interesting, but I wish in the first episode it seemed like it was leading up to that murder mystery thing, but I wish they kept like the murder secret, like so they would like figure out. Like I really like that like aspect, like a murder mystery, like Knives Out type of thing, where you don't know who the like a whodunit. I wish it would have went in that direction, but I guess it didn't. Like I really like the characters so far, like the guy from Squid Games. I really liked his character, and just seeing like, I guess just the differentness of each show so far. That's kind of like my favorite aspect, is just seeing like different content and seeing different stories. And as a filmmaker myself, I like just to see what's out there and like, just different tastes and different styles of different directors and stuff. So far, what I didn't like, I guess I'm just not that invested in the story yet. So, the first two episodes did come out already, and usually I'll be like pretty excited for the next one, but I'm just like, like, I'm sure it's going to take some time, and, obviously it just started, so I'm going to give the show a chance. And obviously, like I said before, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I'm going to keep watching it just regardless. But it's interesting because I'm not really sure where it's going to go in the future episodes. I think there's going to be like 6 or 8. I'm not really sure. And basically, one other thing I want to talk about is just why like no one liked this show for some reason. I looked at the, I don't really do this often, but I look at the Rotten Tomatoes, the IMDb scores, and just like the reviews of some people, and like just the average amount. I think it's like a 4.5 on IMDb, which is extremely low for like a Star Wars or Marvel show. And I don't want to get into it too much, but I think it's something to do with like political reasons. I mean, like, I say like, you shouldn't let personal beliefs or political decisions dictate like what you watch and what your content is. I'm sure that there's like many instances in like Inside Out Star Wars, Inside Out like, just content in general, movies, media, newspapers, whatever. I don't think that you should let your personal beliefs like dictate like how the entertainment should be, because if you are a Star Wars show and if you have a firm belief about the world, and if that shows in a different light, or if something's getting dictated. And I just remembered here real quick, my old team leader from my last job, like a few months ago, like 6 months ago, when the show was like starting to come out and when they were starting putting out trailers and stuff, I think the director said something about something, and he was getting all furious because he's a big Star Wars fan, and he's like really into like you know, on Twitter and shit, and he's like, you know, trying to figure out like all the shit about like the directors and stuff. But I'm like, dude, I don't care. I don't care what someone said on Twitter, like, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago. It's not going to dictate like what I watch. And he's like, oh, I'm not going to watch that shit. I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people like review bombed it, so to speak, like where they just like, you know, they just like bomb the shit out of like the reviews and shit. I'm like, anything political, anything whatever, I just don't care. You know, just whatever actors and directors do outside of their work, I don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a show. It's just Star Wars. It's just a movie, you know. It's not real. And what these people do outside of what they create is nothing to get intertwined with the stuff that we're watching, the stuff we're talking about. But that's about it. I just want to say I'll probably do a full review of this show when like the full thing comes out. I'll just talk about it more. But nonetheless, I did really like it. I am excited to see the rest of it. I'm excited to see like more like the Jedi stuff because I thought that part was really cool. One part I did forgot to mention is like I really liked how the Jedi just didn't use their lightsabers and they just like used the Force for basically their whole like fight scenes and stuff. I thought that was really interesting because, you know, Jedi like nowadays they just like, you know, kill everyone or some shit. So that's about it for the video. Please let me know your thoughts on these 2 episodes and if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if it's something political, please let me know more of like the information. I mean, you know, I'm just more confused. I'm like why people like, you know, didn't like it, but I just don't seem to care to like do more research on it. But I'm just here to just enjoy Star Wars, you know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram to keep updated on my future films and to check out more content. And with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.